Hello and welcome to the SPL Special, the show where I take Pokemon way too seriously. This episode I'm talking to a player who debuted all the way back in Season 2 of our league and has made their presence known with their consistent playoff appearances. I am, of course, talking to none other than Oklahoma City Thundurus' Hajj. Hajj, thank you for being here.
Hey Mario, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
Sir, we are getting into divisionals as of recording. This is week 8. And this is a pretty good time to really go over our seasons. I guess both of ours. I had mentioned this maybe in like the second episode. This is like a do or die time for a lot of people. The top 10 right now, even top 11 with Scoos. It's been an exciting 7 weeks thus far. Where do you see yourself standing as of right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm 4-3. I started out pretty strong. I since lost my footing a bit, and I'm trying to get back to the winning ways. And getting Ryan in week 8 is no easy task. So I've got Ryan, and then I believe Chris, and then Scoos, who are no slouches either. So it's 3 tough matches, 3 contentious matches that are going to have to happen. I'm going to have to win probably 2 out of the 3 of them if I want a shot in the playoffs.
Yeah, you pretty much had to fight the death division straight at the gate, and all 4 of us, Eric, Devontae, me, Trey. Like when you beat me 2-0, I thought it was over for Trey. Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna run his pockets.
Dude, I thought so too, and I think I got a little too confident in myself going into it. And it just Trey humbled me, man. That's what it is. That's the game. But if you asked me before this season, hey, you're gonna go 3-1 against the Death Division to start the season, would you be happy with that? I would say yes every time.
No, yeah, for sure. It adds to the lore that we have that. I've talked about it a million fucking times. I cannot believe I'm a part of that. I think Trey is scared personally that he had to put Devontae, Eric, and me trying to get the run back just to get us all out of playoffs early. But nah, I think those first 3, that was impeccable matches. I talked about the Tyler matchup in the first episode.
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I didn't play that as well as I could have, as well as I should have, and then Serene Grace, man, it just ruined me. I had Roar on Empoleon. I did not click Roar. I saw the competitive boost. I love competitive, and I was like, fuck it, dude. Let me just trust in the Penguin, and it did not work. That one was user error.
Yeah, that honestly understandable. When it comes to like trusting your instincts, we've seen too many times where a switch can be like the end. Like with my match with you 2 weeks prior, I'd switched out of Dragonite when I could have just set up or something. I had a weakness policy on it, so like I could have gone away with that if I so chose, but like I was so worried about the Scald perm. I totally understand wanting to get the competitive boost with it, but I don't think we accounted for Tower's batshit luck with the 3.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Like every time I come up against a Togekiss on the ladder now, I just think like, oh, anything could happen.
On-site.
And I actually, like, days after that matchup, I did get paraflinched into hell by another Togekiss on the Natex Ubers ladder. So that sucked.
Ultimately, I just think that makes her really interesting mons. That shit just isn't over until it's over.
No, sir.
As for my season, it's a little awkward right now. Match with Fendi, unfinished at the moment. So currently 3-3, and track record is looking a little patchy at the moment. I had my win against Scoos, Chris, and Shep, pretty good. I think Chris is starting to get really into the singles format because they are more of a VGC player. So I'm glad I fought them early. But I have to do the Death Division gauntlet. You had to do all 4 of us. Pause. Pause. But
and guess what, bro? You
No!
cut that, bro. You can cut that. You can cut that.
I'll leave the pause in. That was actually pretty good. Okay. But yeah, it's a very do or die time as I had mentioned. I think I have some shit for Devontae, and this will be all I guess expanded upon because I haven't actually played him yet. It's gonna be later today, which is Wednesday of recording. So we'll see. I do feel confident. I think that's the only thing you can ask for. So, as you'll recall, a little while ago we had trade day. Devontae started that. Actually, Eric might have done a few things, but Devontae really started it. The VOD review that Dylan and Devontae and Trey were talking about. Dylan, I believe, made the comment when Devontae made the trades, everyone started realizing that their team was shit and they needed to fix it. I think with you especially, that sounds like I'm calling your team shit. That's just how that sounds. What I mean to really say is you have the Alomomola, you have Sceptile. I think those are like the craziest trades. At least a couple of the craziest trades just because of how different they are, but also I think that it really benefits your team like crazy well, especially with the speed tier that Sceptile has. Was the speed tier a point of contention for you that you need that Sceptile, and then was the Aloe just like something extra at that point?
Yeah. So, those trades were kind of impulse because I'm like when I see trades, I try to be opportunistic. I try to find guys to plug holes for my team. I'm constantly looking at tight matchups. I'm constantly looking at, I'd like to focus more on speed tiers in the future. And I think that speed tiers definitely played a role in the Sceptile pickup. Also, like, Sceptile is one of my favorite Pokemon. He's my my profile photo on Discord wearing Palmeiras jersey, which is
Yes, sir.
my grandpa's soccer team from Brazil. So that's the family club right there. That's my dog. And so I had a chance to pick him up. I wanted him. I think he's faster than Manectric, and I was a little annoyed at how frequently Mega Manectric was getting outsped by Scarfed Mons. So Sceptile at 145 can outspeed some Scarfers, like he would be able to outspeed Mamoswine Scarfed if he wasn't on my team, which is awesome. And I like Lightning Rod. I think Lightning Rod helps me against electric types, obviously, and I think it's good synergy with Aloe, with Scyther, with Empoleon, with 3 Pokemon that are going to be important to my team.
I think Mega Sceptile is crazy underrated. I'd put it as 11 points in my notes. Let me make sure that's correct. It's 10 points.
Yeah.
I think some of these mid tiers kind of got overlooked crazy because in that same tier lies Mega Mawile, which I have not used the greatest, but like that thing is running around for free, essentially.
Yeah, it's a good pricing, but it is kind of like hard capped by its coverage and by its like strange mega stat boosts. Like the speed is great, yeah, but it was already really fast. Like you couldn't give it more you couldn't give it like more special attack to min max it. You couldn't give it Draco Meteor. It doesn't have Earth Power. Like these are things that would make it from a 10-point mon to like a 14-point mon, a 13-point mon, and it is strong, don't get me wrong, and it fills a niche that I needed, and he's also cool as fuck, dude. I love Mega Sceptile. I think he's so cool.
Yeah.
And I want him to get some shine on my team.
Yeah, of course. Looking specifically at your team with the coverage, let me see if I can find this. Here it is. Yeah, some things here the Empoleon and Alomomola, like now you have a free switch in, and now your opponent has to debate: are you going into Mega Sceptile? Like they have to now play around that against something that's already insanely fast, that has a base 145 special attacking stat and the 110 attack stat, and it's like a complete wild card thrown into a team that has blatant setup with things like Comfey and, well, blatant setup potential with Comfey, because it can just not do that, but Scythers especially, and it can run pockets.
Here's another thing I like about Sceptile is that I think it synergizes well with my team.
Yeah.
You know, I think we were a little electric weak, and Lightning Rod definitely helps with that. You know, it synergizes well with Aloe, which is kind of why I picked them together. I like the speed tier. I think speed is good to outspeed certain Scarfers. I was, Manectric, which I also think is a similarly undervalued Mega. I just didn't love that it was getting outsped by certain Scarfers, or that I was having to like worry about it being outsped by certain Scarfers. You know, Sceptile obviously still has that, right? But like, I think it's 145 speed is a good tier. It's got some decent attack, and hopefully it can be, you know, a good switch in, a good revenge killer, and again, cool as fuck. I think my team is cool on paper.
Yeah. And going with Aloe, since that is the other half of your trade, is Incineroar still on your team? I'm noticing now it's
Yes.
on this. Okay.
Yes,
That's also insanely crazy. I love that Mon. Ride or die for that one. But Aloe itself, its ability to influence matches solely based on that ridiculous HP stat of 165. Yeah, Jesus. It's no slouch offensively with Liquidation, the free wish that you get from it into flip turn, into anything of your choosing.
So here's the thing about Aloe. I think Aloe needs to be on a watch list. I think users of Aloe need to be on a watch list. I myself am now turning myself in to said watch list, but it was too good of an opportunity for me to pass up because we got a lot of rats in the league, and I didn't want one of the rats picking it up. But also, you know, I dropped Milotic, if not for Aloe, maybe the week before, because I realized I am getting a lot more use out of Empoleon, and I really like Empoleon. It's a Pokemon I hadn't really used in the past, and now it's you know, he's been essential to my team every other week. And so getting Aloe feels like more of a specialized Mon than Milotic, because if I want to bring a bulkier core, I can bring Aloe as like a pivot. You know, Milo can pivot, but it's not as reliable. Obviously, no regenerator. And Milo feels like a bit more of a generalist, like good in a lot of situations, great in a couple, where Aloe is like really elite, really great at like one or two things. And that's really all I needed to be.
Yeah.
So in addition to having it on my team, I'm glad that a lot of the other watch list members in the league do not have Aloe. And I might not even use it every week.
I think another important aspect with something like Aloe and the Incineroar and the Mega Sceptile is the ability to dictate matches. I think that's like one of the more essential things in having a successful game. If you can force people out or force people in favorably, it does so much more than people realize, and that comes with like the piloting of things. It comes with the piloting of the matches, but this is an excellent set of what you have now compared to stuff where you need to get Scyther in. What do I sacrifice potentially? And like Scyther's no slouch with the Eviolite, but if you didn't want to run the Eviolite, or if you wanted to get Mamo in for something specific, Like you now have something that just soaks up hits and doesn't die, and that's one thing I love with Tornadus and with the mons I'm gonna get into in a sec with my trades, is that like I love regenerators. I'm starting to realize that they're so good at dictating the pace
Yeah,
of
it's
matches.
especially in singles. You know, we're a pivot heavy league. You gotta pivot. You gotta have pivots, and you gotta have regenerator. Hopefully on one of your mons. It's a bit of a crutch, but it's super helpful.
Yeah. I guess somewhat unrelated, but related to all the switching is I showed my girlfriend like one of the matches, and her first question was like, "Why do you guys keep switching? Like, why do you guys keep pivoting out?" Because she didn't understand that like this is like if you keep something in, potentially it has that chance of dying, and with singles you have to be more uh maybe conscious or direct with your counters and getting stuff in. You essentially just have 1/6 of your team that cannot deal with most of your team. So like pivoting important. Regenerator I think is becoming more essential now. Moving on to the trades that I had made, because that shit was not working out for me. Rotom got executed. We didn't even trade him. He got executed. And in Rotom's stead we have Keldeo, and for a time I had Sigilith. I think I had brought up Sigilith with you, and I brought up Sigilith with Ryan over Cofagrigus, but I needed a different. Well, at first I needed a different ghost type, because Cofagrigus I had only brought that for Skoos, and that had not worked, and then I just never brought it. And then I saw the Magic Art for 6 points, and I picked that up. But then Devontae drops Hisuian Typhlosion, which I was looking at. Ryan had suggested it to me, but it was taken until, I don't know, week 7. This was this for me, like these two trades are just like exactly what I needed, because up until this point I think I was not feeling confident about even making playoffs. The speed deficit that I was facing was bad, and anyone who had to play me this season knows exactly what I'm talking about. I think it was Tornadus with the 121 speed, and then you go down to Rotom, which had 86. That's bad. That's terrible.
Yeah, Keldeo's gonna be good for you. I haven't had a lot of experience using it, but I think you know your Electrode, your Weavile, your Tornadus have been good speed tiers for you. The Keldeo definitely fills in a hole. Yeah, and it's strong. It's a strong Pokemon.
It's very strong, and it gets quite a bit more than I had realized through the testing that I have done with scrims. Like I'm a lot more satisfied with the trade than I was initially, because I was a little bit skeptical of it. I love the water fighting type, because I don't think I have
Scarfer.
Great Scarfer. A lot of sets there's a lot of items I've experimented with. And then Hisuian Typhlosion, I think that's a mon that I've wanted to pick up since I started draft. It's got a very attractive typing for me, and I was also lacking a fire type. This was like a holdover from me trying to run a rain team without any rain mons, and was a bit of an oversight on why I didn't have something for fire type. But
yeah, Hisuian Typhlosion is another great mon. Eruption hits really hard. Ghost is just good. And Fire's good defensively. It's cheap too. It's like 6 points. I really wish I got to see you cook with Sigilith, because I really like Sigilith. But I think this fits your team a little better.
Yeah, Sigilith might be a pickup yet. We will have to see how things fall, because I was actually quite excited to use that just as a last ditch thing. Like, this could work, but I do like the 2 trades that I have, so hopefully this can hold me out till finals. We'll have to see, but with our battles, with the battles of the season, do you have a particular favorite? Is there one that you're like proud of from this season?
From this year specifically, I like my battle against Colton. I think, I just lost twice. Colton's also a guy who has had my number in the past. He's a really strong battler when he tries. And I think if he tries more, he's going to go back to the top of the league again. But that's another conversation.
Yeah.
I think I prepared really well for that. I had a call with you and Shep before that match, and I think it ended up the changes we made, the tweaks we made, paid dividends. I know, an unfortunate Diamond Storm miss hurt Colton, but I still think I had him based on the sets I ran, the prep I had.
Yeah.
I also, my match against Fanto in week 1, I think last year he beat me twice. He beat me week 1 by on the last mon, the last turn, and then he beat me in the offs. He beat me in round 2 of the playoffs. And so I got my lick back on Fanto, and I think I smacked him 6-0.
Yeah.
But he's a really strong battler. He's made a lot of changes to his team since then. He's gonna make a playoff run this year, guaranteed. I wouldn't be shocked if I saw him in the gauntlet if we both make playoffs.
Yeah. When that first match happened, I think a lot of people were reacting to it because of the Scyther. What a... I need to find this match, actually. Let's see how
That was my
quick
vision
that
for
ended.
Scyther, man. That was my grand plan. That's what I wanted
my
to happen.
God. You got set up so early.
He's a delete button.
Yeah. Switched out and ate a Draco Meteor from Latios after oh, it was Primarina that had died. Yeah. Went right back into the Chestnut matchup.
Dude, because Chestnut can literally do nothing to Scyther. It can't do anything to Scyther. I only switched him out of Latios because he could one shot with the Draco.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be outsped. But Scyther's 105 speed, right? So it's pretty solid there. And he just hits like a fucking truck with Technician, dual wing beat, stab. I told Shep I can't believe he's available. But when we were talking before the draft. Yeah, I love Scyther. I want to use him more. I fear I've become a little one-dimensional. But yeah, he's a good mon. That week 1, man, that's what I wanted, man. Nobody was clapping him when he got picked in the draft. But now they recognize, bro. They recognize now.
Yeah, I prepped extensively for Scyther, and then he didn't even bring it, and I was shivering a little bit because what could you have replaced over that? And you ran my pockets. We'll talk more about our matches because those are always close between ours. But the 6 matches that I had played, the match I had with Shep, I'm very proud of that. Despite some blunders, despite some misplays.
It was a hell of a match, man. You really stayed composed against a really strong opponent. I think you absolutely nailed it.
I was surprised to see the Dunsparce in that match, but I knew that it was a mon that could do a lot of damage because I'd run calcs for my entire team and specifically the lineup, and I was like, this is probably the best thing that deals with it. But stuff like Boom Burst, and Body Press, bad, really bad.
Having a Terra Captain with that base stat total at all is just very useful. You've seen it with Cryagnal, you've seen it with the Dunsparce, Scyther, these 500 BST mons, even Mr. Rhyme. They're good. They're good Pokemon to have, and Terra makes them viable.
Yeah.
What about that match do you think gave you the edge?
I think it was the ability to get Weavile in. My mindset with that was beforehand. I centered my entire game plan on getting things chipped, and then having Weavile as my end game. I knew that with a favorable matchup, I could set up for free. I knew for sure when Greninja was revealed to have Ice Punch that I could make that work.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, his flyers were pretty low. Things that his Moltres and Corviknight, which after setup, their neutrality to ice, I believe it was triple axle that I had, would just break through. And they would also be outsped entirely. So I set up on Greninja once I knew that it was Ice Punch.
You know, it's risky in itself to set up on Gren. That's a strong Pokemon.
Yeah. I guess at the time I thought this was just choice banded Greninja. And it had like falsely confirmed it for me when Chef switched out on me with Weavile in. I was like, okay, cool. That is clearly choice banned. Ignore the damage on Tornadus that it had dealt by almost killing it. I thought like, okay, cool. this is it. And I did get that Swords Dance boost. I was able to get rid of his Corviknight and Moltres, and then he brings in Greninja. I'm like, all right, this is it. He can bring in Treads too. I could potentially just die there anyways, but I have Tornadus to come back. But then it killed. It was faster and it killed. And if you watch that match, you'll see my reaction was like, no way, it was scarfed.
Yeah.
And I guess looking back, it made sense with the damage, but I wasn't looking at the calculator like at all. I was just playing that out.
It's a crazy Shep set, man. He really knows how to bring you to the brink with some off-colored sets, some strong Pokemon, but like has a really creative way about battling it. And I think you matched his intensity. I think you matched his creativity with your sets, you know, and I think it showed off in one of your strongest wins of the year.
Yeah, I think at the point where I was, because we're going deep into the 40s with the turns, I had to just take a second and understand the position I was in. Like it was almost certainly a loss up until I had burned Iron Treads. With that I think it was a 10% heat wave burn, ultimate hacks against him, and Tornadus came back to life like for the 4th time that game, and leveled the playing field with it. So I started to just consider what would be my best option throughout the entire thing, and I felt pretty good about it. After that burn, I think my third eye opened up there, and I was considering ways to get like Clefable back in, so I could wish it, because I was running a pivoty wish set.
Yeah, I mean teleport is so good on a Pokemon like Clefable, especially when you want to bring in someone like Weavile to set it up.
Yeah.
I think they synergize super well, and I think you use that to your advantage.
Yeah, but
especially when you have treads that could like blow you up. Yeah, you got the burn, but like you still don't want to stand in front of that thing and take Iron Heads.
Yeah, I was still very afraid of Greninja. Like even
100%.
after I was in a 2v1 position, but it worked out, and I'm glad that I managed to just barely beat him with it. With Tornadus at the end there, and I believe that was my last win so far. Right after that, it was my match against Spicy. God, that was really bad. I had this very sneaking suspicion that Polytoad wasn't going to be brought, but I had centered my team on the idea that it would be a rain team for Spicy. And he has the right idea with running hybrid rain, because he doesn't need it, because he has stuff like King Gambit, and Urshifu, which is good on its own and doesn't. It only gets the damage boost from rain, but oh man, that was so. I was not playing my best there.
Dude, but I'll take 10% of the blame here because I was like, yeah, dude, Bicey always brings rain, except the one time he didn't, it's because his opponent brought the rain for him. And I was just like, yeah, there's no way he leaves the Pelipper Polytoad at home, whichever one he has. And he fucking did. And I apologize for that, man. I apologize for gassing you up. I was telling you to run a Hurricane on Tornadus because he was gonna bring rain.
I think I still ran Bleak Wind because I think when it was out of rain, I still wanted the extra accuracy boost on that. So
Right,
I was like,
and that's because cooler heads prevailed. But I was thinking 10 more damage, bro. Get greedy, run a Hurricane.
I don't really even blame anyone because I think Ryan also, when I showed him the team, he was like, yeah, I think this is good. You can leverage his rain. But I think the issue is I have a psychic link to Polytoad, and I just fucking knew. I knew that shit was not coming. Like in the back of my mind, I think he was trying to tell me something that like, don't do it. I was getting call-outs from him, and I didn't listen.
Hey, bro, you can't. Sometimes the prep gets you.
Yeah. But I wasn't really even mad with that loss. I was like, I really got fucked with that. But like that's the fun with it. You prep, sometimes that shit doesn't work out. Relating to the prep with different players and like the psychic link that I have with Polytoad, I feel I've developed certain styles for people, like different methods of prepping for people, and I think that's got me into trouble. But also, I think that has allowed me to win and stuff like against Shep. Do you have a similar thing where you have a different mindset going into a match because of your opponent? Let's say like Ryan versus Shep, because those are two very significant opponents for you.
Right. I think I wouldn't go as far to say I like alter my preparation for like different battle styles and different opponents. I think my preparation is more or less the same every week. I'll look at their team, I'll look at my team, I'll look at type weaknesses, I'll look at different synergies, I'll look at what they've brought in the past, and I'll try and just go with a gut, 6 or 7 Pokemon that I think do a good job against them, and I'll kind of put them together, and I'll tweak sets and stuff. But like, man, as far as like individual prep per person, I think it's a lot of seeing what kind of sets they've run in the past and seeing how, like, knowing what to expect, right? So for Shep, it's like I touched on this earlier that he's a rival of mine. He's somebody who I admire, who I like playing against, and a lot of it is because of the shit he runs every week, man. It's fucking it's a lot. It's nuts. And so I end up preparing myself for, Choice Band Alamomola. We touched on that again. Like, I'll prepare myself for Choice Band Alamomola just because of his reputation, because of the shit I've seen him do.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is I over prepare for something that isn't broad, and then like there's a leg up on him there. That's the psychic damage, dude. That
I think I've approached things very differently as of late. When I was prepping for Dylan for the match that was not meant to be, I had got the idea in my head that I needed to run the trick berry set again.
yeah.
I thought Dylan would not expect this at all. Why would I bring this a second time?
Yeah.
I think for someone like Dylan, I have to think so outside the box that my sets become something you'd find in low ladder. Because I've gotten surprised quite a few times by my girlfriend who sometimes makes a team for me for the week, and I can't disclose just yet what she brought for Devontae, but it was so funny. And it's not something I think Devontae himself is gonna bring. I think it'd be more standard. But I just start to think like, I guess in much the same way with how things are used and how things are built. I guess lately I've been looking at the replays of people this season and seeing what they'll stay in on, what they feel confident with, like using an attack on or having a setup with. Set wise, I feel like it's a little bit trickier this season. So I feel like people have gotten pretty good at this, and it's not as easy to run a set that's so risky. But I think that's like starting to get into my head with it.
It's a balance, right? It's a balance of being able to like have unique and creative sets that are effective. I think that's what makes the best battlers different from everyone else, is that they bring something you might not expect and it's effective. And I think we're all just trying to hit it, you know. I'm sure Jill is creative and has some cool sets, but I also like, I don't know if they're always effective, right? But what it is it helps you think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And a lot of the times where she has brought a set that you would never see, it is like just completely it has fucked me over every time. The one example I brought up with Ryan was and I told you about this, the ice beamed Gyarados that froze Tornadus.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
That was really funny. And I think there was a different set, and Trey was like, "That's not tech," and then Colton, like the like the dog he is like, that shit's tech, man. He was hyping it up.
Trey's hating.
I know, he's a hater. I talked about this earlier, but I think he drafted us. He drafted me, Eric, and Devontae because he's scared. He's scared to fight us in playoffs, and is trying to get us out now.
Make sure you stick it to him. Give him the business.
He's missing every fucking move he puts against me. It's over. But yeah, I guess for Ryan specifically though, the mindset that I have when I fight him is so like completely different. Like we've prepped together and been so in sync with stupid ass sets that when it actually comes time to building for him, nothing's off of the table. And he had brought that, it was Skill Swap Tinkaton. That was incredible. That is a set that if we were together, we would have thought of that in a minute.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It just didn't clock for me. Like, why would he run that? And then I'd realize it was for huge power. Like that was good.
Huge power Gigaton hammers go stupid, bro.
Yeah. I guess I wanted to talk about our games, but our season 2 games are gone. But
yeah, season 2's gone. You probably beat me.
we definitely we either played twice or we played once, and I'd beaten you. Oh yeah, it was week 12. The only thing I remember from that match was Infiltrator Whimsicott over Prankster because of Grimmsnarl. And I think I had run Encore and doesn't get defog, so I think I just had it for Encore. But that match ended up being very close. And then our season 4 match is the other one I remember, with the dual screens Raikou, the Tapu Lele that ate through the one and only appearance of Butterfree, because I was so convinced I can get a Quiver Dance sweep from it, but it's such a shit Pokemon. I'm sorry, it's so bad. And that ended up being a 1-0. You had Tapu Lele, Darkrai, Galarian Slowking, Mega Blastoise.
Dude, I know. No, it wasn't Mega Blastoise, regular Blastoise.
Oh yeah. You had another stupid ass sweeper with Blastoise. That was scary.
but I've only ran that's season 4, right?
Yeah.
I only ran Shell Smash like one time against Devontae, and I hit him with the Big Man Blastoise music. I was pretty much exclusively like a bulky, annoying phasing Blastoise where I'd run like Yawn, Rapid Spin, Scald, Roar, or Dragon Tail, and like max defense, max HP, like every week. And I just thought it was good. But little did
Yeah.
I know, Empoleon is better at all of that.
No, definitely. Shout out Empoleon. But since then, I've been struggling against you. I have to get my run back eventually. In season 5, I
See me in the
think you beat
playoffs,
me both
kid.
times. I think I have to. I think this is it. I'm
See
gonna
me in the
have to
playoffs, kid.
I have to get the run back. You don't even know, man.
Yeah. Now you know my tricks though, so maybe you'll have a leg up.
Yeah.
No, I think our last 2 matches, obviously the ones that I've won, have been good. I think when that Darkrai team that you beat, I never really like gelled with it, like that team. I threw a lot of matches with that team just because I didn't know how to end game them.
Yeah.
But my favorite matchup of all time, unfortunately at your expense, is our playoff match from last year.
Oh, that was rough. That was really rough.
It solidified my love of Annihilate. That team I thought was sick. I love Heliolisk. I love Sableye. They have their spots on the pantheon of my favorites now because of that season.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we have some barn burners, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Ask me what my favorite match is.
What is your favorite match?
The next one that I win.
Oh, okay.
I'm on that Jalen Brunson mentality, bro. I love playoff wins. I love the next win. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. God, what was I thinking running Miltank that season? Like, it's so good on paper. It gets so many moves.
It does.
But it kind of fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, Scrappy's a really good ability. I think you could have done, you had some shit with that.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. What's your names?
My names? Oh, we
Your
can talk
names
about.
you name your Pokemon.
I can go on for a million fucking years about nicknames. This is a PSA. You guys better nickname your mons, and they better be good nicknames.
Can you just give me like some backstory to like 1 or 2, or like your Endless Sky is the Tornadus this year. You always have a Bulls on Parade. Great song.
Sir.
Yeah, just tell me a little bit about that.
All right. I used to have all the names in one spot in a box. Let me look through this real quick. So I do pre-name my mons beforehand before I actually use them. I think that's important. I think people should be naming their Pokemon if you're gonna be in this shit. But we'll start with Keldeo and Typhlosion because those are my newest ones. That one's called All the Smoke, and I'm thinking of the movie with Kyurem. I haven't seen it in a while, but I know he tries 1v1 in that 1v1 in Kyurem. I might change it. Soon Typhlosion. One of my friends names is Connor. Love that person. They're one of my closest friends.
Shout out Connor.
I think they've watched a few matches within the league. Shout out Rodent Rage. That is Connor. Clacker Volley. That's from JoJo.
Endless Sky is also JoJo's, right?
No, that's a Fleshwater song.
Okay.
I'll have to tie this in with my design philosophy on the graphics I've been making, but it's based on this Fleshwater album called In Search of Endless Sky. It's this it's like an alternative rock album, and that's the final song on the album. Let's see. Melody, the Weavile, that's Jill's Pomeranian. One in a Jillian. Guys, shout out Jill. I'm just saying, shout out Jill.
That one I should have guessed. I should have known that one. You've always got one in a jillion.
That's been present since season, maybe since season 4, because that's when I started seeing her. It was at the end, but that's my resident fairy type. And she requested it specifically to be shiny, so that it's always going to be a shiny fairy type. And I tend to have lots of success with the fairy types, and I think they're 1 in a jillion sets. That's always going to be the fairy type now.
But I can see the naming convention. It's like different things that you like, and then you kind of stick to like, okay, 1 in a jillion is fairy types. This dog is going to be, Melody.
Yeah.
I get it. For me, I just pick like shit that I like. This week for Ryan, I have a different naming convention than usual. Honestly, that's one thing I'll prep differently for different guys is the names. Usually it's shit that I like, but for Ryan, I've got a certain mentality this weekend, and that's reflected in my names. Versus Fendi in the past, I did try and dox him. I did try and dox him. I asked Colton for help, and he clutched up big.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it didn't work. I think he 5-0'd me, but
nah, you have to get. I think that was probably the most novel strategy anyone's ever attempted in this league, second only to the trick item, Trick Rostberry Starmie.
Yeah, I ran Fling Toxic Orb last year, week 1 against Fanto, and he had Misty Terrain up, and I didn't realize.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah.
I mentioned a million times Ryan on this show, as I mentioned you a million times. I think rivalry perspective wise, it's like the people I build with the most that I have to also compete with. Like, I have much respect for my main rivals. I think I like the idea of the teammate rival thing that we have. And same with Ryan. But I have never been that man.
You've never been Ryan?
No, never. Not even outside of draft.
Damn.
Nah, he's always been the better Pokemon player.
And the teammate thing, let me just touch on that. It's like, I don't know if you have watched F1 or any familiarity with it.
Yeah.
The team, there are 2 drivers per team, and they both drive the same car, right? Same specs, same everything. So theoretically, the same level driver would finish with the same time. So they're always being compared against each other, which is why they're uber competitive, but they score points that help the team, right? So the 2 Ferrari drivers both want to help Ferrari, but they also want to be self-interested and win the title on their own.
Yeah.
And so, like, with us battling, I do feel like we are, or with us prepping together, I feel like we're pulling on the same rope a lot of the time, and like I get happy for when you win.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, when it comes to me versus you, like, I'll no love lost, bro. I'll cut you down if I have to.
Yeah. With Ryan, man, like if he wins a million tournaments, like I'm happy all the same for him. But I do get heated when I lose against him sometimes because like it's so close. Every match that I've had with him, like that just could have gone either way.
And it's personal.
Yeah, it is. It is hella personal.
100%.
We'll wrap up things now. I've stated before, season 4 is my favorite. That's the ring season for me. But
of course,
you've been a constant playoff presence. So I guess I'm curious, like, what your favorite season has been so far.
Dude, my favorite season hasn't happened yet. It's the one where I win it all. That's my favorite season. after I win, I am quitting the league. I'm putting everyone on notice. After I win the season, it doesn't matter if I have a cupcake schedule in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if Fendi's Vaporeon has a broken ankle or a red card and can't play. I'm quitting the league. That is the peak for me. I will become a spectator. I will give my spot up to someone else. I can't wait. But you know, I'm liking this season. I think this season is a second to that one. And like we started it off so hot. I thought the draft was great on Twitch. Watching it with Shep and Scoos at Scoos' place, eating nachos, and then like getting hammered.
Yeah,
just an excellent atmosphere, excellent vibe, great way to get everyone excited for this coming season of Mons.
it was. I really liked that. I think for me, this probably is my second favorite, just because of the improvements from 5. Like that draft night was special, definitely. I think Colin is serious about the season 10 Cancun thing.
Yeah, dude, we'll see about that.
But with everything we have talked about, and with people saying this, I guess people, specifically being me, what's your opinion on the year of Hajj?
Dude, like I said, I think to call this the year of Hajj after like a hot start is not like branding that I want. I think it has potential to be the year of Hajj if I keep winning. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep winning. I want to get that ring. I want to get these playoff wins. I want to get wins on my ops. I want to keep beating the Dosters 5-3 all the time against them. A lot of people don't talk about that, but I certainly don't talk about that. I just want to keep getting better, keep getting wins. I think this league is a lot of fun. And I have fun even after I lose. Maybe not in the moment, but like the next day of being able to look back on it and laugh at the Serene Grace match versus Ty. I think that's what makes this a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it's competitive too. I think it's a good balance of those things that I love.
Yeah.
So year of Hajj, I'll take it. I think the only true year of Hajj will be after my win and then subsequent retirement. But you know, I'm striving for it every year, every match.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can. It's pretty much all you can ask for in this league. I think just having the year of you. But good answer, honestly. We love a humble king.
Thanks,
in this
Coach.
league. But I believe that does it for everything. Like that was all the topics that I had covered. Was there anything you wanted to add or anything you wanted to say before I close this out?
Yeah, dude, I'd like to shout out Jalen Brunson in the 2026 New York Knicks.
Yes, sir.
I was a loser before they came into my life. I am not a loser anymore. I'm a champion, and I'm just trying to take 1/10 of Jalen Brunson's prowess, of his aura, of his ability to win, and I'm just trying to channel it into my Pokemon Draft League so I could become the Brunson of this league.
I think I think if you manifest it hard enough, that will happen. We will see with his upcoming matches. But that essentially does it for this episode. Next episode, I will be interviewing our beloved mod and resident sheet steward of the league, Doji of the Washington Wordiers, formerly the Nido Kingdras. We have approximately 3 more weeks of divisionals. So good luck, everybody. I'm very excited to see how these matches play out. I'm excited to see how the Death Division plays out. Depending on if I beat Devontae or not, remains to be seen. I'll be talking about that most likely in my episode with Doji. But that does it for now. Thank you guys so much for listening in. And thank you, Hajj, again for being on this show. Like this has been so fun to actually have like a long conversation about this.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mario.
Yeah, of course. With that, as always, shout out to everyone, and until next time, see ya.